If you're taking the SAT this weekend, let's go ahead and talk about what's exactly going to be on it and my predictions for what the hardest questions are going to be. If you didn't know, the SAT is broken up into two sections, and it tells you right here, the reading and writing and the math section. So let's go ahead and talk specifically about what happens on the math sections and the breakdown and what you're going to see. Here is directly from the SAT College Board's website what you're going to see. You're going to see that the vast majority of questions are going to fall into these two categories, algebra and advanced math. So algebra is going to go and consist of linear equations and linear inequalities. What does that mean? Well, that basically means a line on a graph, y equals mx plus b, and solving for x. So if you have some trouble solving for x, I have news for you. We do have to go and master that in order to get a good score. The second component is what SAT calls advanced math. Don't get worried that this is like super hard, complex stuff. It's just going to consist of anything that isn't a linear equation. So instead of y equals mx plus b, you're going to go and see quadratic equations. You might see exponentials, things like y equals 2 to the x. And you might see radicals, which are the square root functions. It's going to ask you to go and analyze those types of equations, solve for x, solve for the roots, and understand equivalent expressions. So those are going to be the two areas that you really, really want to focus on. I know a lot of students like to focus on the bottom two, specifically geometry and trigonometry. But if you're trying to get the most bang for your buck in terms of studying, really focusing on these two are going to help you out the most. With geometry, you know, that will make a small difference, especially if you feel like you're weak there. But there's so much content to go through. There's circles, there's 3D shapes, there's triangles, there's SOHCAHTOA on there. And so these are directly what you're going to go and see on the SAT. Now, what's my prediction for the hardest type of question that you'll see? Let's take a look. And here you go. Equivalent expressions, something like this. Which expression is equivalent to y plus 12 over x minus 8 plus y over y times the quantity of x minus 8 divided by x squared times y minus 8xy, and you have all of these monster ones. Luckily for you, this isn't too hard if this is your first time seeing these types of questions. In Desmos, there's a way to go and put all of these answer choices in, select x and y as two different values, and then go and see which ones equal each other mathematically. That's a super quick way if you want to use Desmos. Make sure not to plug in 1 or 0. That'll cause some funkiness here. But the other option is to actually manually solve it using algebraic methods, making sure the bottom of the fractions are equal and then adding those up. But that's going to be my prediction for the hardest question type that you see on the SAT this year.